So if you guys want to see me make a farm and learn how to make a farm yourself as fast and as efficient as this one is right here, make sure you stay tuned until the very end of the video. Hello there everyone and welcome back to another video. And in today's episode I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a very efficient melon and pumpkin farm. Alrighty, let's just hop straight into this. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a giant block of dirt that's 11 blocks wide and 32 blocks long. So I'll go ahead and let you build that up first. So for the very next step of this farm, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place in our water sources. So essentially this is our middle block, and all we're going to do is we're going to count out 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on the 5th block, we're going to go ahead and place one across from the middle line. I know it sounds bad at explaining it, but you need one on either side the middle line. Then we're going to go ahead and put a water bucket in there, and then a stone slab on the top so it maintains the water. As you can see, the water's in both of those still. Then we're going to go ahead and put a torch on top to help things grow. But as you guys can see, this right here, this is your middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th block, you come here, you place one this side, one on this side. You don't place it in the middle. And then now we're actually going to do 8 blocks in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then right here on the 9th block, this is your middle one. So we're going to go ahead and go over right here. Place your water bucket. And then place your stone slab on top. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing again. That's 8 blocks there, and then this is the 9th one. And now for this last one, we're actually going to do something a little bit different. Because it's only 32 blocks long, we're going to go ahead and only make them 7 apart. Now you can make this farm infinitely as long as you want, but we're making a smaller design of 32, so we're only going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then right on the 8th block is where we're going to go ahead and place this in. Make sure that it's exactly 1 block. Just like so. And as you can see, there's a 7 block gap here, 8 block gap, 8 block gap, and then there's a 4 block gap at the start. And then this is the middle block, like I said, off on the sides. And you need to make sure you build up both of these. So yeah, now we can go ahead and start placing in our plants. So for the next step, which is going to be placing in the plants, all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just do this the whole way down, making sure we alternate. Leave spaces in the middle for them to grow. But yeah, we start on the far edge and then we just go on just like so. And now we're going to go ahead and alternate. Actually, we're going to go melons on this row, pumpkins all along this row. Yep, pumpkins, melons again, pumpkins again, melons, pumpkins. And of course, we're just going to continue this the whole way down, the whole way through. So once again, this is all going to be pumpkins. And then we're going to go ahead and skip a block right here. Don't ever do anything there. I'm going to go ahead and till this through, and this is all going to be melons. So yeah, go ahead and do this for the whole way of your farm. We're going to go ahead and place a double chest right here on the outside of your farm. Then we're going to go ahead and run hoppers over here just by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 blocks. So halfway down, pretty much in the middle of the farm. Then we're going to come over here and run them out, going this way by 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then go ahead and run them back to the inside by 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just like that, you should be on this block right here, 1 block away from this edge. And then now all we're going to do is going to go ahead and fill in all this space right here with just solid blocks. So just like so, we can make a little ring around this thing. Make it look all nice. And then all this on the inside needs to be filled in. You can actually, if you want to. You can go ahead and continue your farm if you can. So just like this, we do have got a bit of room where we can extend it to get some more melons and pumpkins here. If you want to, you definitely don't have to, but make sure we have this. And actually, we can fill this in with dirt. But yeah, it's going to look a little something like that. I'll give you a nice little aerial view. Essentially, that right there is what our collection system is going to look like. So go ahead and copy that all down. Next up for this farm, all we're going to go ahead and do is go back here where our hoppers are and build ourselves up a nice little wall just like so. So now the drops fly out. Then we go ahead and come here. This is one of the untilled rows on the far right side. Place a rail. It's going to be facing that way eventually. Skip a block, place a rail. And skip another block and place another rail. And we do want them to face this way, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and place a block like so. They might already be facing that way. If so, amazing. But if not, that is what you can do to fix it. The next thing you're going to want to actually do is come over here and make sure we place either glazed terracotta, because then, you know, nothing will get stuck to these, or you place some obsidian. I'm going to go ahead and place terracotta in between all of those pieces right there. And what we can do is come to this block right here, this piece of terracotta. And what we can do is go ahead and put a water source down there, which I don't have one. Like I was saying, get ourselves a water thingy. And we can go ahead and place some water upside down stone slab, just like so, or like on the top, and we can place a torch, and that's just going to hydrate this extra area of crops that we have. Next up, we're just going to come right over here where our hoppers are, so right here on this left side. We're going to go ahead and place just a little row of solid blocks. Then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some sticky pistons and line them up with these middle rows facing on these blocks, just like so. Then we'll go ahead and get ourselves some rails right here, and once again, if they are facing the wrong way, you can simply do that and then go ahead and break them, and then it'll be all good. And following that, we're just going to go ahead and place a little block in between those two sticky pistons, and then 3 more blocks just like so out the back. The next step of this farm, which is going to be us creating the flying machine, we're going to come on over here, right here to our corner of the farm. Place a slime block going across here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, pretty much just all covering the rails. And then what we're going to do is come to this block right here, place a sticky piston on it, then in a not a movable object, glazed terracotta right here because it needs to move, but we don't want it sticking to these other blocks, so we're going to do that. Then place another slime block right here, and to finish this out, we're going to place an observer facing inwards, and you'll know this will work once this thing fires off a pulse, just like so. For the next part of this flying machine, we're going to go ahead and take a piece of obsidian and place it on our first sticky piston right here. Then a normal piston, go ahead and place it facing inwards towards here. Place a little piece of glazed terracotta on the thing. I'm going to be in the same spot and place some slime blocks going just like so. And this is going to go ahead and go to the very edge of your farm to get all of those blocks. And then to finish this off, what we're going to want is an observer actually facing inwards. So never mind, that's the wrong way. Make sure you're looking the way you want it to face. We're going to have an observer facing inward with the arrow going that way. And we're going to go ahead and place a sticky piston on its face. And those two are essentially going to pull and throw each other around and make the flying machine work all the way down the farm. So this next step is where things do get a little bit tricky. What we're going to need is we're going to need an observer facing not this way, but this way facing outwards, kind of like to a diagonal of this observer, if that makes any sense. So it's facing that way, and that observer is facing that way like so. Then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a solid block, just like so. Place it right there. Go ahead and destroy that block. So then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some slabs, and we're going to go ahead and place these slabs just like so to make sure we surround this piece of obsidian, kind of. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our redstone, 1 block out from this, 1, 2, a redstone repeater right there on 4 ticks, another one right here on 4 ticks, and then this one right here on 2 ticks. I'm going to go ahead and place a piece of solid block, just like so. And then go ahead, after you make those solid blocks, so it's a little something like that, place a redstone dust on top of that piston. So for the next step of this farm, we're going to go ahead and remove this piece of redstone just to make sure that the flying machine doesn't take off before we do that other side. We're going to go ahead and place a redstone torch right there, and then just 3 pieces of redstone dust, and that will go ahead and grab ourselves our rails. Next up for our farm, all we're going to be pretty much doing is make ourselves a nice ether clock, which are very easy to make. I made it for that farm already up there, and for one of the other farms I'm sure I have, or I will eventually, but all we're going to do is come here, we're going to line up with this to make sure it's all nice and even. We're going to go ahead and do this, place a comparator, then we're going to go ahead and place in our 2 hoppers facing into one another. Make sure that the 2 things are facing towards the comparator, because that is what gets the comparator output. Redstone block on top of there. We're going to do the same thing on this side, redstone dot on top of there. Then we're going to grab ourselves our regular pistons, which I don't have. Alright, so our regular pistons are going to go ahead and just be facing inwards, just like so. A redstone block on top, and then now you pretty much just put in the amount of blocks that you want. So next, pretty much all we're going to go ahead and do is carry the signal from this thing into our farm. So we're going to go ahead and come out this right side with a piece of redstone dust, a redstone repeater, running into a block. If I can place it, there we go. We don't need that. Then that's going to be running into a redstone torch. And then up into the left of that redstone torch, we're going to go ahead and have a block just like so. A piece of redstone on top of that, a block back on top of here, and then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a sticky piston, which I don't have those again. Real quick, actually, we're going to go ahead and come down here and place a lever right here, and that's going to be how we control the farm from going on and off. And then we can go ahead and place our sticky piston up here, and then we're simply just going to go ahead and grab ourselves an observer and place it so that, kind of like that, so the hole in the arrow is facing that away. And then real quick, you can go ahead and just place in a couple stacks of blocks. I'm going to go ahead and place in 4 stacks of blocks in these hoppers. And that means that every few minutes or so, it's going to go ahead and fire this off. Of course, unless you have the lever flicked, because then it is going to be turned off. So for this side over here, we're going to come down here to the opposite side of the farm. On the right side, I recommend building a little pad that is 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks long. And then we just made a quick little 3x4 pad right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the edge of the farm right here. Place a block up like so to make kind of a wall with some glazed terracotta on top of it. Then right behind this, we're going to go ahead and need to place a normal piston just like so. Then go ahead and grab ourselves an observer and place it facing this way just like so. Then what we're going to do is come out here where our observer is, place a block on the observer, then 1, 2, 3 blocks around just like so. 1, 2 pieces of redstone, and then a repeater on 3 ticks. So that's 4 ticks. So 1, 2, 3 ticks. And then, it's just going to get the signal from the observer. Once it comes over here, it's going to come here. It's going to push it and then spit it back. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves an observer facing downwards right here. This is our normal piston. I had to dig down a couple blocks to be able to place like that. But then we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a solid block. Place a solid block right there. Then 3 pieces of redstone, 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be running into an observer right here. Oh, and by the way, this is on 2 ticks. And then we're going to come across 1 block in between and place 1 piece of redstone dust, just like so. And then right here, as you see, we have our repeater here, our redstone here. We're going to line up our sticky pistons with the other side, just like so. And then go ahead and place in 3 pieces of your glazed terracotta once again. Then I'm going to go ahead and come up here and place just any block right there for now. Right here on your observer. Then 1, 2, 3 blocks of obsidian, and then go ahead and make sure you break that block out. Then we're going to come down here and finish off our redstone bit. So make a nice little 3 area, and this is right here where we just fell down by the observer. We're going to come here, place a repeater on 4 ticks, a repeater again on 4 ticks, a repeater right next to it on 4 ticks, and then 1 piece of redstone dust to finish off that circuit. Then we're going to go ahead and come up here on top and just fill in all of these gaps with some more of our glazed terracotta, just like so. And just like that, that should be our whole farm complete. What we're going to go ahead and do first is come back over to the side that you started on with these rails. We'll go ahead and place in all of our mine carts with hoppers on all of the rails, all 5 of them, just like so. Then we got our lucky piece of redstone that we got to come up here where we removed earlier and go ahead and place that in. And now we can go ahead and fire this farm off for the first time and see, is this working? And yes, just like so, it is working. As you can see, it is going to destroy all these melons. And it's actually going to then head and pick them up in these minecart hoppers. What do you know, it rains. That's just amazing. But yeah, it's going to go ahead and do this the whole way through and then go back to the other station and dump them off. As you can see right there, and there is our return station working out amazingly. And just like so, it is now right here at this station. It's going to go ahead and drop off all of its drops in these hoppers. And just like so, those are all our drops. Of course, that was only a couple melons, a couple pumpkins, because we're still waiting on everything to grow. But you can go ahead and get some bone meal and bone meal, all of this, if you don't feel like waiting. So I think this is a good time to end this episode, and I do hope you guys all enjoyed. That was a very nice, efficient melon and pumpkin farm that we just built in this episode. Make sure if you have any questions about it, you ask in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer all of them. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, leave a comment, and I'll see all you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.